Do you think we need to change that today? You just
Yeah, I just did it.
you hit the panic button immediately,
And I knew where it was this time.
before I just.
I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. You and I sitting here yesterday, Woj puts out some tweets. We talk about it. We go home. We eat dinner, go to bed. Mm-hmm. That's how I thought it was going to play.
I say trust in Larry Tannenbaum. We leave, all of a sudden, holy crap.
Which hasn't always been said in the city.
Right.
That's what I thought it was going to be. Look, are we on the same wavelength there? We chop it up on air. We talk about it. It's nice. Go home.
I like it. The kids chop it up.
Chop it up.
I understand,
You
yeah.
put the kids to bed. I put my kids to bed that I don't have. I just felt I wanted to be part of the group.
Okay.
I put my cat downstairs. Well, it's not the same thing.
All right. I just didn't want to think of what kids were.
Could have been a lot of things, right?
Yes.
You know me
What
too
did
well.
kids mean for Sid?
Then I come in here today. McAuliffe off like from Jump Street on this February 5th edition of Tim and Sid says, is there going to be now some compensation
come on now.
potentially for no? That's not how this relationship goes. The Knicks don't fleece the Raptors. The Raptors do the fleecing.
Well, hold
The
on a
Raptors
second.
are the ones that trade Bargnani to New York,
Mm-hmm.
not the other way around, Jack. The Raptors are the one to dangle Kyle Lowry. The Knicks go, we're not interested. 6 All-Star appearances later in the title. The Raptors are laughing in their face again.
Right.
That's not how this relationship goes. James Dolan is done 0 favors because MLSE notoriously have given 0 Fs about that franchise, not the other way around. And I don't like where this narrative is going. And I don't like the silence from Masai. And I don't like some really short statement from MLSE. While 1, 2, 3 more reputable people in our industry, not just one, are pouring more kerosene on that.
I thought you were going to do the not just one, not two.
Not just one, not just Grange, not just Mark Stein. Hell, even Frege is getting involved in this.
Mark Berman.
Mark Berman.
Okay, let's start with Stein and the newsletter. I'm going to read through some of these things so that the people who haven't heard these things now hear these things.
In terms of what happened when we left there last night.
I want you to stop
Right.
me when you want to make a point on any one of these things. We'll start with Mark Stein and the newsletter that we talked about. He says in this newsletter, and I quote, 2 longtime Ujiri watchers whom I trust deeply for their reads on this situation have been telling me since December when the Knicks fired Coach David Fizdale after a 4-18 start that Ujiri intends to maneuver his way to the Knicks after his moves helped the Raptors win a championship last season. Both watchers went so far as to proclaim that Ujiri may even try and bring along Bobby Webster, Toronto's well-regarded general manager. One told me he is convinced that Ujiri's relationship with the Toronto team owner, Larry Tannenbaum, is such that the Raptors would ultimately bless the move
Wait.
if Ujiri wants it bad enough.
Wait. Hold the phone.
I've got a phone. I'll hold it.
on.
No, God!
I'm going to hit every button I can on this.
No, God!
Hold your
please,
phone.
No!
Hold it.
No!
Hold it up so
Hold
people
it.
can see it at home.
Okay.
People listening on the radio is holding a phone. Wait a second. That's the part of the Stein thing I didn't read last night. You're telling me Mark is reporting.
You didn't read it?
I skimmed that part.
All right.
Because I was disturbed by the other stuff.
Or you didn't read it for the show right now?
No, that's not the point.
Okay.
You think they're the only ones that get information from their show? So Mark Stein, who I love,
Yes.
okay, despite the fact he's a Man City supporter, he's saying the relationship between Tannenbaum and Masai is so great. He played the if you love something that strong, set it free card. Is that what Mark Stein played in the relationship between Larry Tannenbaum, MLSC, and Masai Ujiri?
Set them free.
Set them free, free. Set them free.
Yeah, that's exactly what he played.
That's malarkey.
He took the if you love somebody this much, you set them free.
And I disagree with the whole notion. If you love someone that much, stalk him on Instagram.
All right, he's not done.
There's more? Because I'm ready to drop on that line alone. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
That line leads to this line.
There's more, my God.
And this is what really scared Raptors Nation.
It's terrible.
Some leagues, this is a quote, some league insiders have also questioned whether Dolan is as all in on Ujiri as advertised because of the perception in various corners that the league office, specifically NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, is pushing Ujiri as the ideal candidate to try and rescue the Knicks.
Wait.
No, God!
Hold on.
No, God, please, no! No! No!
The commissioner
No!
of the National Basketball Association, Adam Silver, pushing Ujiri as the ideal candidate. Now, again, the sentence before that was the perception in various corners that Silver would be pushing.
Okay, couple things. You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Couple things. I like Mark Stein a lot. Again, despite the fact he's a Man City fan, and Man City just kind of became good because of money.
Why are you
And they have no
standing-
real history of being that good.
Why are you standing off mic, hands on hips?
Because I am stunned, sir.
Power move
I am
styles.
shocked, I am stunned, and I am shocked. Couldn't think of a third different thing.
Right.
At what you just read from Mark Stein, one of the smartest guys in our business, that Adam Silver
Could have used jaw dropped.
said, push out, that Adam Silver
Gobsmacked.
would help this idiot.
James Dolan?
James Idiot Dolan. That is his nickname in New York. Have you not heard this?
Why wouldn't he-
Idiot. Lord of the Rings is going to get help.
Why wouldn't he help him?
Look, the
It is
notion.
the one of the most powerful franchises
I'm with you.
in all of sport.
I'm with you.
That has been run into the ground by James I. Dolan.
But if he was an owner worth saving, I would be with you.
Irrelevant.
Well, then how about this?
It's a franchise worth
instead
saving
of
to the
reportedly
NBA.
pillaging the Toronto Raptors, why don't you get a real owner in your league instead of dealing with this crap?
Because I don't know if you know this, but the commissioners work for the owners.
If you get a coalition of the willing,
Ooh, a coalition of the willing.
where's Donald Sterling right now? Different circumstances, I grant you.
A coalition of the willing. I like that word.
I don't even know if I should have pulled that. That's kind of a serious term. This is madness to me. Now, is it unprecedented
No.
that commissioners would get involved in something like this?
No.
Absolutely not. This happens more than you think. Happens with GMs, happens with coaches.
Happened with the Toronto Raptors and
ahead.
by proxy, Masai Ujiri. Because, listen, the first time it happened, reportedly, was with Lenny Wilkins. And the league was trying to help the Raptors stabilize the franchise and suggested that Lenny Wilkins was the man to do that. They brought Lenny Wilkins in. It kind of sort of worked. They also did it with Brian Colangelo, who, if you might remember, Raptor fans, upon suggestion after winning an Executive of the Year in Phoenix with the Suns, magically appeared in Toronto, and Robert Sarver, new owner of the Suns, gave his blessing on it. Brian Colangelo brought in Masai Ujiri.
Correct.
Brian Colangelo also went to Philadelphia under the same auspices, Sid Sixero.
Well, I mean, MLSC was also instrumental in bringing Masai Ujiri, right? Because the second
Back.
Masai got here, everyone was like, "Ooh, I don't know if he and Brian are going to get along."
Right.
And Brian was gone. A lot of burner accounts later, Brian was down in Philadelphia, right?
But Brian was down in Philadelphia again, trying to stabilize the situation in the process.
Because who asked him?
the NBA.
The NBA.
So this is not, everyone who's saying this is a screw Toronto move doesn't remember their history or know their history, and we're here to help you with that history.
But I'm not mad at people who think that. I'm not mad at that opinion. I get that opinion.
I get it, but it happens way more often than you would think.
No,
and
it's both valid. You're bang on. But I also, any Raptor fan freaking out over this, I get that too. I think you're both in the right.
you know,
And I rarely say that.
that's not mutually exclusive. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're bang on.
But if you know the history, if you didn't know the history, you would just be pissed. If you know the history,
Maybe
then
you're a
you
little
say,
less pissed.
"Oh, okay, that happens all the time."
Right.
Heat got so hot around Stein that he had to send out the following tweet. In response to my latest newsletter about a perception in some corners that the league office, specifically Commissioner Adam Silver, is pushing Masai Ujiri as the ideal candidate to rescue the Knicks, NBA spokesperson Mike Bass said the following: "It's 100% false."
Man, I'm so glad they said that because I thought they were going to come out and confirm everything. I was expecting Adam Silver in the league to come out and say, "Got us. Must be a Wednesday." What the hell else are they going to say, McAuliffe?
Nothing.
Jeez Louise. Sweet sassy molassy. What else are the NBA going to say? I feel like swearing a lot right now. What else are the NBA going to say? Adam Silver. You know what? Part of me wanted to root for China when the Adam Silver thing happened because of this story. Do not come up. I got in a lot of trouble once. Do you remember when the Raptors didn't have a free throw against the Cavs in a playoff series for like a game and a half?
Yeah.
And I said that the entire NBA does not want Toronto to win this series, and despite the fact I was dead right. I'm serious. I was talked to. If anything like this takes place with Adam Silver and Masai and the side deal and this, that, or the other, I am burning this studio to the ground. And there are Raptor fans who will not be far behind me. Of all the scenarios you put on the table here, Tim, in the last 24 hours.
This is also my work environment.
Okay, I'll burn my half of the studio.
I get paid.
You guys can stay on that half. This half is torched. This half's getting just.
Okay.
It's going to turn into a urinal.
Okay, so I need you to specify this burning down of the studio again, just so
we'll
I
get to
know
the details in the break.
when the run.
I'll let you know. I'll build an app like the Democrats in Iowa. I'll let you know when I'm going to do it.
Right.
If that is how this reportedly would play out, and that won't be kept a secret if that were to happen. I guarantee you that.
It's never.
I will lose my mind, man. Lose my mind.
If
what this country has done for this league, how many Canadians are in the NBA right now? If that is how it plays out, because you have an idiot under 5'4" on daddy's money who can't run one of your staple franchises, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Because the Hobbit can't get out of his own way. Okay, you're going to go pillage Masai Ujiri.
We get it. He's short.
What's that? Have you noticed he's really short?
Yeah, I know. And he plays in a band. Do you want to rip the band, too?
He allegedly plays in a band.
Yeah, the band is more ridiculous than the height.
They should have just given him a tambourine.
I don't think he can do anything about the height.
No.
But the band, he could just stop playing in.
JD in the straight shot is what I was told.
JD.
There's a lot of really off-color jokes I could make there, too, but I won't.
And the straight shot.
Hey, have you heard height doesn't measure height?
Okay, let me ask you a question. And I think it's an important question for everyone at this juncture in time to stop, listen to, and answer, and then have the next conversation about how Michael Grange made us both a lot more scared about what's about to happen in the next little while.
Oh, you're not done, are you?
No, I'm not done. Jeez. But I'm going to ask this question because I don't want to run out of time. And I really want you to soak this in. And I know your initial take is always the one that you try to stick to, even if it's dead wrong.
Or dead right.
Or dead right.
Did you know James Dolan was short?
Do you really feel like the Toronto Raptors president is Masai Ujiri's last job?
No. Only an idiot would think that.
So,
but like I said yesterday, his next job might not be in basketball.
His next job might be with the... I wouldn't be surprised if Masai Ujiri works for the UN, ends up being the NBA commissioner, ends up starting a pro league in Africa.
That's what's happening. Adam Silver's scared of Masai.
So he's sending him to New York?
So he's setting him up
with James Dolan.
With James Dolan to then...
just to sewer the career of Masai Ujiri.
And by the end of it, Masai will hate basketball so much, he won't want Adam Silver's job. Nailed it. Okay, Grange. Stop teasing me on Grange. Stop having me interrupt you.
Do you think this is his last job needs to be thought about because Masai Ujiri's thinking about it?
I don't think you need to think about it. I think it's an obvious point. There's no way this is his last job.
I think
there's no way.
I think there's a lot of Raptor fans right now thinking, well, if they just give him enough money, he'll stay. And I don't think that's what motivates Masai Ujiri. And I think you really have to think about what motivates Masai Ujiri, and that's the reason why he's silent on all this.
Hasn't spoken in a while, right?
You and I have had a pretty good relationship with Masai Ujiri over the years. I've had on the record conversations with him. I've had off the record conversations with him. He has been very good to us with his time. We have asked several times for Masai Ujiri to join us on the show, and he hasn't. Why?
Bobby Webster has.
Bobby Webster has.
Masai lately a little absent. I'm not complaining. Love Masai, but a little absent.
Michael Grange, last night's column, Sportsnet.ca, that Ujiri may have an out on the 5-year deal he signed in the summer of 2016 which back then was in part a preemptive strike against the Knicks nosing around, could allow him to hit the market this coming summer.
Grange, what are you doing?
Whether it's a formal out or more of a gentleman's agreement isn't exactly clear. Grange goes on to say, one way or another, the expectation on Ujiri's status will be cleared up well before the 2020-2021 season. As one league source put it to me recently, if something is going to happen with Masai and the Knicks, it will happen quick, probably a few days after the season is over. In summation, and this was actually word for word from Michael Grange's column,
who we'll talk to this hour.
The Raptors haven't offered Ujiri an extension. We knew that in December because Mike reported it in December, and we brought it to you in December and then wondered why there wasn't a lifetime deal for Masai Ujiri. The Raptors haven't offered Ujiri an extension. He's determined to become a free agent, and he may have an out on his deal this coming summer. And then punctuates with this. Short answer, Ujiri is gone. As if that weren't enough.
If you don't shut up right now.
The stability of the Raptors extends beyond Ujiri and Webster.
Time for Ken Reed and Tim.
The entire front office staff, along with highly respected director of sports science Alex McKegney and head coach Nick Nurse, are on deals that are up in 2021 as well.
Oh my God! Are you? Wait a second. Is he suggesting that they're gonna go down to New York like the NWO and sit courtside at Knick games?
When it all falls down, I'm telling you, oh.
You're an awful singer. Awful singer.
Thank you.
MLSE, Tim.
As if that weren't enough.
No, you better be done. I'm cutting that off.
I'm done.
I don't care if Woj drops 8 bombs in the next 8 seconds. I can't take any more of that. So, what did you drop? Did you drop the report? Tim McAuliffe got up out of his seat to pick something up in the middle of that.
No one cares. Keep going.
I cared. He threw me off. I need to focus.
Okay. You need my eyes staring into yours?
Look at me. Stop. Just continuously look at me. Feed me. Give me energy. 2 things. MLSE.
Yes.
MLSE have not had a good rep in this town for a long time.
No.
Fair to say?
No, not at all.
TFC got good. That was nice. Raptors became what they became. And
took a while for all of them.
And the Leafs, regardless of what you think of what they're paying their kids, have some talented kids. Mm-hmm. It took a while to build that rep. For a while, they couldn't get out of their own way.
That is correct.
This single-handedly could erase all of it. All of it.
Well, at least with the Raptors franchise.
No.
I don't know what it does to the Leafs.
Nah. You don't think the Raptors earned some new fans over the last 12 months?
You mean the goodwill that is given to MLSE because of the way that things have broken down for them over the last
Nobody talks about the parade that wasn't organized because they won.
Right.
We'll ignore that. That's the first thing. It's not just lifting the trophy in front of the camera. You can't let him walk for nothing. That will kill your rep. I hope people understand that. I don't own a franchise, but I've been in the city a while. That will kill your rep. Second thing, Tim, you read everything that you just read from Stein, from Grange, from everybody. Mm-hmm. The last time we did hear from Masai, do you remember what it was?
No.
We're going to die trying to win this title this year.
Right.
And it seemed a little strong for you and I, right?
That is correct.
When we saw that at the gala that night, and the more you read what you read, and the more I think of that clip, the last time we've heard from Masai Ujiri, we're going to die trying. Why the urgency this year? Does he know something that the rest of us don't?
I wrote my notes, and I wanted to make this my final note. We're already about 3 minutes heavy on this opening segment.
It's pretty good for us, actually.
But I wrote my notes. If all this is hanging over the Raptors at the deadline, is it because they are making a run at a title and could leave the cabinet a little less stocked than Ujiri would like, and remember, he put himself in the position to completely restock if he so choose at the very deadline that approaches tomorrow.
Right. Now, the other side of that coin is, well, if you're really going for it this year, you trade Pascal for Paul George.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. That's the other side of that coin. If you were really just worried about this year, you trade Pascal for Paul George and you keep Kawhi for this season.
I'm going to move quickly beyond that because I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And I'm just going to give one more thing from the New York Post's Mark Berman.
Mark Berman, what has he got?
The headline says, James Dolan's rush for new Knicks president makes Masai Ujiri less likely. This was published today, 3:10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, well, I feel better.
If you scroll down, there's an interesting thing on this New York Post column. It says, according to a source, Dolan has been very leery of Ujiri using the Knicks as leverage with Toronto, given the mounds of publicity he has gotten as a candidate. Ujiri's contract expires in 2021, and the Raptors have every right to deny the Knicks permission to speak to him now, or to talk to him now in English. Actually, both worked, but that's not what it said in the story, so I'm just going to keep going.
Power on.
In 2017, after Phil Jackson got fired, Dolan called Toronto's ownership and learned major draft compensation would be required, so Dolan moved on.
So what you're telling me here as we go to break is either he becomes the Knicks president or Masai Ujiri screws the Knicks for like the 17th time. Is that basically it?
Correct.